I honestly have no idea how to even begin explaining what happened last night. It all unfolded so fast, so unbelievably fast, that I can't even be sure of what I actually saw. But I'll start from the beginning and do my best to describe it. It was around 10:15 p.m. on a Friday night. I kept glancing at the clock because I had ordered a pizza, and it was running late. Meanwhile, my dog was barking relentlessly at the back door, the way she always does when she needs to go out. So, without giving it much thought, I threw on my coat and stepped outside into the freezing night. First, everything seemed normal, but then I noticed something strange. She had been the one demanding to go out, yet the second I opened the door, she refused to step even a single paw onto the snow. I live just a few kilometers from the city, near an intersection, and my backyard slopes down into a pitch-black ditch overgrown with weeds and tangled branches. My dog has always avoided that area. I never knew why, but no matter what, she kept her distance. That night was different. She wasn't just avoiding the ditch. She was avoiding the entire backyard. That was completely out of character. Normally, she'd sprint a few laps before even thinking about doing her business. I tried nudging her forward, thinking she was just being stubborn, but she resisted. When I pushed her again, she let out a whimper. Not just any whimper. It was desperate, raw, almost like she was trying to warn me. And then I heard it. Another whimper. But this one didn't come from my dog. Came from the ditch. Sounded exactly like her. Yet somehow wrong. Like something was trying to imitate the sound but wasn't quite getting it right. I know how ridiculous that sounds. The thought of some lunatic crouched in the bushes, mimicking a dog's whine, is insane. But that's the only way I can describe what I heard. Then movement. A shadow shifted among the branches. It swayed back and forth before it looked at me. No eyes, no face, but I knew it was staring straight at me. A wave of dread crashed over me, an instinctual terror that gripped my spine and squeezed. I knew that something was coming. My hands moved before my brain could process. I grabbed my dog, hurled her back inside, and slammed the door shut. And that's when things got worse. I spent the rest of the night barricaded in my room, my dog curled up under the blankets, trembling. At some point, I heard a knock at the front door. The pizza. Or at least that's what I told myself. But whatever was outside in the yard had filled me with so much fear that I couldn't bring myself to move, let alone check. I stayed in that room until 4 a.m. The exhaustion finally began to drag me under, my mind slipping into the edges of sleep. Then I heard it, a scratching at my window, faint at first, then more insistent. Then came the noise, a wet, choking gurgle. And then a voice called my name, told me to unlock the window. But the worst part, it sounded exactly like me. I know how this sounds. I know I must sound insane, like some lunatic raving about hearing his own voice outside his own window. But this was real, and I'm tired of trying to convince myself that it wasn't. After that, I couldn't sleep. The scratching stopped, but the feeling didn't. I wasn't safe anymore, because whatever it was, it knew. It knew that I had heard it, and now I don't know what to do. How do you live with the knowledge that something is still out there? And worst of all, it sounds just like me.